I just got home from the Cherry Blossom Festival in DC. I was wearing this super cute skirt, but I changed into sweatpants because I'm going to pick up pizza and I just wanted to get comfy. I will tell you all about the Cherry Blossom Festival when I get back and eat because I am very hungry. So I'm gonna go do that. Barbecue chicken pizza. So I fell asleep after eating the pizza, and so it's the next day. But let me tell you guys about this Cherry Blossom Festival. So they have one in DC every year. I've never been, my grandma has never been, so we went together. It was beautiful. On the drive there, we had so much fun. We took the scenic highway, so we got to see the trees. We were listening to music. It was a great time. We went through the tunnel that goes under the Baltimore Harbor. That was fun. And we get to the city limits and there is standstill traffic. Not a single car is moving. A trip that should have taken us 2 hours took us 4.5 hours. It didn't help that as we were going to the parking garage, I'm not the best navigator. Give me some credit. I'm pretty good at navigating. Like, I'm a pretty good navigator, not when it comes to cities. So we couldn't find the parking garage. We pulled over, asked someone for directions, and then we were trying to follow their directions and ended up back on the highway. Had to sit through an insane amount of traffic again to go back to where we started, to follow the directions properly. We got to the parking garage, we got parked, situated, everything was fine. But yeah, traffic was crazy. One of my friends had told me to park outside of city limits and take the metro in. However, there has been news stories about a measles outbreak. And the thing is, I'm vaccinated for the measles, my grandma's vaccinated for the measles, but the vaccine is 94% effective. And you might be saying, Paige, that's pretty effective. You don't need to worry about it. Well, one thing about me is I worry. And there's nothing I can do to control that other than not taking the train into DC. So we didn't, for our own peace of minds. Because the last thing I need is to somehow be the 6% where the vaccine doesn't work and I contract measles. I'm not risking it, sorry. Once we got there, the cherry blossoms were beautiful. They were so pretty. They were everywhere. And we walked along the tidal basin and saw the Jefferson Memorial. It was beautiful. It was extremely crowded. Extremely crowded. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And as you're walking along this tidal basin, you're like shoulder to shoulder stuck in human traffic. It almost made me wish I was back in the car traffic because at least I would have my own air to breathe. Instead, I'm breathing in the exhales of other people. That's how close you were stuck to other people. There's kids screaming, but that does not take away from the fact that it is absolutely beautiful. And there were these people who were out on boats in the tidal basin. Oh, I envied them so much. That was so smart because they're out on these boats. They get to see all of the cherry blossoms. It's probably so beautiful seeing it from the inside the tidal basin, and they're not around any people. I would recommend that if you do decide to go. I would recommend getting a paddle boat and going into the tidal basin. I don't know how expensive it was. There's probably reservations you have to do weeks ahead of time. So the tidal basin was beautiful. We also got to see the Martin Luther King Memorial, which was beautiful. I loved it. I had never seen it before. I had been to DC, but I've never seen the Martin Luther King Memorial, and it was beautiful. They had writing on the walls, beautiful quotes. The cherry blossoms around the walls, like, just added to the beauty. Once we got to the mall, which is the main green part of DC, there was thousands, I'm not kidding, thousands of kites in the skies. No picture or video I took could properly show how many kites were in the sky. So there were kites everywhere, and there was also a huge, gigantic shark, but it was a kite. It was a shark kite. I've never seen anything like it. This thing was like 20 feet long. It was cool. They also had this taiko drumming demonstration that you could watch, performance. Taiko drumming, I believe, is a sort of cultural drumming. I'm not going to say anything further than that because I don't know. I'm not educated on it, but it was so cool. So we watched that for a little while. Then let me tell you guys something. It was 86 degrees. Now, coming from weeks and weeks, months of the weather in Delaware being 20 to 40 degrees, I don't think I properly understood how hot 86 degrees would be. I was excited that it was going to be so warm. I was very excited. I thought it was going to be great. I could wear a nice skirt, a thin shirt, and I wouldn't be too cold. All I was thinking of was the cold, not the heat. I was thinking, wow, this is gonna be so nice. It's gonna be so warm outside. When we were walking in the tidal basin, being so close to the water, paired with the fact that there was a little bit of a breeze, was doing wonders for the heat, because the second we got to the mall, that main green strip, to say the heat was unbearable would be an understatement. And it wasn't immediate. We got to the mall, we saw the kites, we were planning on looking around, but we were a little bit hungry. So we went to go get food from the food trucks. There were multiple streets just lined with food trucks. So many food trucks. I've never seen so many food trucks in my life. The lines for these food trucks were so insanely long. It took maybe 20 minutes for you to get up to the food truck to order your food, and then another 40 minutes to wait for your food to be made because of the amount of orders these food trucks were getting. All in all, that's an hour of sitting at these food trucks. I say sitting at the food trucks, there was nowhere to sit. We were standing alongside these food trucks with 20 plus other people around us, crammed in to this small little walkway like sardines. And you know the phrase bumper to bumper traffic? We were in shoulder to shoulder traffic of just all humans, like instead of cars. So after an hour of sitting there festering in the heat of other people, along with the fact that it was 86 degrees, we were ready to expire, pass out. So we need to make our way back to the car. Now, mind you, the car was parked a good 6 or 7 miles away from where we were eating. I actually was not sure if we were going to make it back. I went to call an Uber. Now, I don't know why this happened. It might have been because there were so many people concentrated in one area that the internet wasn't working. I'm not sure. I'm not a tech genius. I don't know. But you could not get onto Safari or any kind of search engine website on your phone. I could not download the Uber app. I could not download the Lyft app. I couldn't download any apps. There was no way for me to call a car to come get us. So we were forced to walk back to the car. Now, I knew I would make it. My grandmother, on the other hand, I was very stressed, to say the least. She was like suffering from heat exhaustion. I'm very proud of her for making it back. I didn't know if she was gonna make it, but we started the journey. We started to go back. We're walking. The buildings were pretty. There were more food trucks. We're walking along. We saw these cute little pigeons. I love pigeons. I think they're the cutest things ever. And I also think that we, as humans, screwed them over big time by domesticating them and then leaving them to fend for themselves. So every time I see pigeons, my heart just goes out to them. I just love them. I just want to pick those little guys up and take them home. We parked next to this International Spy Museum. When I tell you the relief I felt crossing the corner and seeing that spy museum, there were no words. So we finally make it back to the spy museum. We got in the car and drove home. and got pizza and watched a movie. All in all, it was a great day. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's probably gonna be a pretty short one. I had so much fun filming it for you guys, as always, and I will see you next time.